So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world. And welcome to a brand new episode of Is It That Bad, where we take a look at an album that got mixed reviews. And today we're talking about an album that just came out this last Friday. And it's a band that I actually never gave a shit about. So, yeah, let me talk about this band because I've never actually listened to them too much. So it's Slaughter To Prevail, and this is the album cover. It's called Grizzly. So this is the album artwork for this album in particular that we're going to cover today. And I'm guessing it's got some mixed reviews. There's some YouTubers that have praised it, but I know
I saw a couple of negative reviews. One was from Metal Meltdown, the other from the Thralls of Metal.
Yes, I watched the Metal Meltdowns, and also my friend Brady Fugel also reviewed it, and I think he also didn't like stuff about it. So we have returning obviously Robert from Trolling in Paradise. Robert, how are you?
Doing good. It's good to be back after 8 months.
Yeah. And we have Lorenzo on back-to-back nights. Lorenzo, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. This is gonna be interesting for me.
Yes. And we have JC Rock and Metal Reviews. How are you, JC?
Yeah, doing good. Thanks. Always a good time.
Good time. So yes, you know the rounds, people. We have 3 rounds. On the first round, we give our first impressions of when we listen to it. So the album's been out a few days now, and on the second round, we give maybe 3 or 4 picks.
I'll go with 4 for that one.
I have 4 too, Robert. And then the third and final round, we vote thumbs up, from sideways down, and we give our final thoughts. So since Robert hasn't been here in 8 months, so let's do Robert, then we'll do Lorenzo, JC, then me. So Robert, your first impressions of Grizzly.
Well, I had to listen to it over the weekend. I found a full album stream that Alex, the vocalist, posted on his channel. And I had to listen to it again today to get prepped for this episode. And first thing I noticed, the snare sounds like a trash can. It sounds like Saint Anger. And then you got Alex just growling his guts out there. He sounds like that thing you see on the Jumbotron at a Boston Bruins game. And then you got the of course there's 2 guests on it, and one of them absolutely ruins this whole album, which I'll talk about in the second round here. And the album cover, the half face, half mask thing, it kind of looks like a goalie helmet almost designed. Yep. And then but yeah, I saw Metal Meltdown review it. He posted it on Saturday, and then the Thralls Metal posted it the next day. They hate it. Both of them hated it. And Necrotnik and Jam John hated it so much they wouldn't give it any stars. And Jam John said he would rather watch a 10-hour loop of that scene in Neverending Story 2, you know, the swamp scene where the guy's like, stupid horse, you gotta move or you're gonna die. That scene where the horse sinks in the mud and drowns.
Yeah.
Are we talking
that sort of thing?
Are we talking about the Neverending Story?
Yeah.
I had to bring it up because of that. Yeah, it's also a meme. And yeah, and there was and I noticed there was there was some sample sounds that sound similar to early Slipknot in there too. Especially the it sounds like something off the first Slipknot album. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe from Timu.
More like something you hear on the song No Life.
Yeah. So Robert, I want to know, how did you feel about it? I don't give a shit about Thralls of Metal.
Well, I already know what my verdict's gonna be. We'll get to that. And yeah.
Okay, so Robert, we got the first impressions and a never-ending story. Somehow I didn't know we're gonna talk about the death of the horse today. So let's go, Lorenzo, your first thoughts.
Well, it's an interesting band for me because I've heard of Slaughter to Prevail, but I've never heard them before because deathcore, this style of music is not really my style of music. So so it was a challenge for me. It's not that I hated the the harshness or the growls or any of that because I'm used to it, but it's just I've kind of moved on from that phase in my life, but I can appreciate it. You know, I can appreciate when it's done well or when when bands are good. But it's just that I can't really now tell the difference from from the really good ones to the really crap ones because it's sometimes too similar. I don't have that ear anymore. You know that ear that lets you know the
Mm.
differences between because I'm not listening to that so much. But I was like, maybe I'll give this a fresh perspective. I listened to it 2 times, and I just found it sometimes a little bit boring. I think it was too long, maybe. But
Mm.
I think there's some things I liked, but you know, we'll get to that.
Uh, do you even live, bro? That's the vibes I got from this album. So good first impressions. What about you, JC? Did you see the horse dying too?
No, I haven't watched Never Ending Story in a long time. I think I watched it when I was a teenager. But anyway, yeah, I listened to the first album a couple years ago. I remember I liked it, but I never like went back to it again. So in general, just like Lorenzo said, deathcore is not really my go-to genre, but I have some first impressions. My first one is there's a lot of experimentation, and some of it worked. There were parts that sound like new metal, some sound like industrial metal, but there are other times when they just do some weird stuff with the mariachis and kawaii metal and swing music and all those little weird snippets that they'll put in some of the songs, which I'll talk about later. Because the biggest problem is that they don't have like these proper transitions. It's like you'll be right in the middle of this deathcore song, and then all of a sudden you hear mariachis, and like they come out of nowhere. So it's kind of like weird. And probably the biggest criticism is the album is 50 minutes long, which is long for this type of album, and it felt like it dragged like a long time. And there are some songs that are like 5 minutes long, like the first one, Banditos. I mean, it just kind of feels like an eternity just listening to the entire song for some reason. But those are my first impressions.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you, JC. There's
Right.
something there that they blatantly rip off Rammstein.
I'm actually gonna mention that later. Yeah.
Something
I mean, they rip off Slipknot too, and
oh, no,
Rammstein, and
There's a
God.
Slipknot sample in here. I picked it out, but yeah.
yeah.
It's
But
at the
they
beginning
also
of Pit of
there's
Darkness. It's at the end of the song. ER the take that motherfucker.
Yeah, the ERs.
yeah.
It's from the Kid of Darkness, yeah. But we'll
so
get to that in the next round. Yeah.
get in the next round, Robert. Settle yourself. The horse. So my first impressions on this record is I first heard it a little bit on the weekend. It gave me a fucking headache. I don't know, the vocals, deathcore, it's just those peak squeals when they do it. It really fucks up my brain. Like I'm like I want to listen to something like I like some aggression in music, but with some melody. But this, for some reason, feels like just some blatant noise sometimes. And then I look at their image. They're like these tough Russian guys and the mask and the guy's like he's called Alex the Terrible, and apparently
Looks
he's
really buff too. He looks like some sort of wrestler almost with that buff appearance. Huh?
yeah, full of tattoos. I guessing some roids are used. Are you wait? Do that menacing face, Robert, but talk so you can. You need to make noise so people can watch you.
It's
Okay.
like Donkey Kong, which there's a new Donkey Kong game out for the Switch 2 that just dropped last week called Donkey Kong Bonanza. And Donkey Kong goes full Team Bases on some sections. Like,
So yeah, I didn't know there was a new Donkey Kong game. So yeah, going back to Slaughter to Prevail. So when I was listening to it the first time, I had to turn it off on a few occasions because it annoyed the fuck out of me. But I did finish to it, and I think I think 50 minutes for this type of music. I think this record would have benefited for being like 32 or 35, like for cut 15 minutes off the record, and it would have been better. To Robert, I'm trying to concentrate, and you're making faces.
trying to figure out what to say here.
I'm like, damn it, focus. So yeah, those were my first impressions. All over the place. I couldn't finish it in the first listen. I had to put it down and listen to something else because it was just too jarring, too much. And I like those early Slipknot records, but Corey Taylor's a better vocalist. So
Yeah.
there, I said it. So let's go to round 2, where we pick the song. So Robert, you said you were gonna pick 4. Give us your
First one is going to be Bendy Toes. The opening track is the longest song in the album. Opens up with some Slipknot sounding beats on it. Very similar to the opening track on it called Sick from their first album. You got Alex just sounding similar to Corey Taylor, where he's just shouting into the mic, except it's in Russian instead of English. And near the end, it goes into like a Spanish section, which sounds like something out of an anime, which is absolutely out of place.
Well, it's called Banditos.
Well, yeah, and it's the opening track, and the snare absolute sounds like trash can lid, yeah, because it's pure Saint Anger snare. My second pick is I'm Dead with Ronnie Radke. Jesus fucking Christ. Ronnie absolutely ruins this entire track by ripping off Nightmare Before Christmas on one section. And it's bad enough he was on that Alex had to be on the last Falling in Reverse album from last year, which fuck that album. I'm not listening to that garbage again. And yeah, Ronnie just ruins this whole experience for me, having to get through this whole album, being on the third track, I'm Dead, which is easily the worst song I've heard this year. Might be one of the worst songs I've heard this year. My third pick is going to be the what was that song that started out that folky acoustic intro? That sounds like Five Finger Death Punch. That's track 10. I forgot the name of it.
Rodina.
Thank you. That's Alex Terrible trying to sound like Ivan Moody at the beginning, and except it's sung in Russian instead of English. And by the way, both those bands actually toured together last year with Marilyn Manson. That was a horrendous lineup. And yeah, that was pretty horrendous. And the final pick is the last song, 1984. It protests the war in Ukraine. These guys, being from Russia, they had to relocate to Orlando, Florida because of that. And because they're opposing the war in Ukraine, well, there is a price that has been paid because all 5 members are opposing the war in Ukraine. Vladimir Putin, president of Russia, anyone who opposes the war, their families will be executed by firing squad. And that's sadly what happened to all 5 members of the Slaughter's families out there. Yeah, all their families are gone. So yeah. That really, but that's what happens when to the Russian citizens who oppose the war, they lose their families. So yeah, that's my 4 picks.
But the guys from the band are still alive, man.
Yeah, they're in Florida, but their parents are dead because of that opposition.
Do you have this information, man?
Well, I know that anyone who opposes the war, since Vladimir Putin's such a dictator anyway. Yeah, I'm all for that sentiment. Because seriously, fuck Putin.
Hey,
Anyway, let's move along.
there's there more, Robert, or
I'm done. It's time to move along.
okay. So those are your picks. So yeah. So Lorenzo, your picks.
Well, okay. This is one of those moments where I'm like, how do I differentiate between these songs that sound so similar? And you know, I kind of liked when they went a little like folky or because it gave me something else, something different. I think that's a common thing about me. When I hear an album and everything is the same, I kind of find myself bored. So whenever a band can give me something else, something different, I'm all for that. I didn't mention that I was surprised that most of the lyrics were in, or a lot of the lyrics were in Russian, which I think it's pretty cool, because I'm not used to listening to Russian bands. So when I like to listen to bands in singing in their own language, so that's something that I was into. That said, there's some really really crappy stuff here. um, I think I found it. I think Koshai, the sixth one, was kind of boring and generic, and it was just too much of the same. Um, Lift That Shit was like very. It sounded to me that's the moment I was like, I know there's a moment and a track where they actually sample Slipknot, but this song sounds like some sort of bad tribute to Slipknot. At least there's some moments there where I was like, oh wait, are they trying to do like Slipknot here?
Are you referring to the sound of that? That one.
Yeah, there's also like the weird cadence used by him, and there's some weird stuff there. But I think I didn't love Banditos as well. I think it's too long and too weird, and that one, even though I like when they give me something else to start the album, that was a weird one. I like the aggression at the first part, but then there's some sort of interlude there where they're talking in Spanish, and it's like, what is going on? So that was a weird song for me in terms of placement and in terms of the song. Maybe if it wasn't the first song, I would have enjoyed it more. And if they gave me more of the elements of Mexican music, because I'm sure this is like obviously a song about banditos. It's a song about Mexican culture or Mexican uh, lore. So give me something about that before you start speaking in Spanish, So, and the last one, I absolutely hated this song. This is like, to me, this was the worst song. And I wasn't a huge fan of Ronnie Radke's song that were featuring, but song 3 with Baby Metal, I think that was absolutely terrible. And I'm not. I like
Baby
Baby
Metal has a new
Metal.
album coming out next month, actually.
I
It
like
was
Baby
delayed a
Metal.
couple times.
I'm not a huge fan, but if Baby Metal's on, I'll listen to it. But this song it's just Baby Metal didn't. It there was nothing there. The lyrics were repetitive as hell. It was just like counting. It's from what I understood, because all the lyrics were in either Japanese or in Russian, but it was just the same. And not even the Baby Metal singers sounded great here, and they sing well. So it was surprising how I think it was maybe a problem with the mixing or the production. I don't know. It just sounded terrible to me, and I hated that song. I couldn't wait to switch song. So that's more my 4.
Good picks, man. Yeah, I feel like the combination of baby metal and Slaughter to Prevail is a weird one. Because you got
Yeah.
like ultra macho and anime. Like
I think they're big fans of anime because there's another song here, Behelit,
yeah,
which is like based on Berserk, the manga Berserk and the anime. So apparently they're fans of manga or anime.
yeah. So good. Did you pick 3 or 4, man? I lost.
I think I picked 4. Koshai, Live That Shit, Banditos, and Song 3.
Good choices. Good choices. So, what about you, JC?
Okay, my first one, I'll pick Russian Grizzly. It's them trying to sound a lot like Korn. That's what I got from it. This is the one where I noticed the drums sounding like those Saint Anger trash cans. I put that in my notes. It's one of those songs, it's in Russian and English, but the chorus is repetitive. They're doing those pig squeals, and
Man,
it also has that weird like 1940s like female vocals that I don't know, like swing vocals, whatever they're called. And it just
I know,
then
yeah,
there's
it
another
sounds like
part
that, yeah.
where it sounds like there's an actual grizzly bear in the song doing a growl. I don't know if they use an actual bear, maybe they did, but
It was Alex
that's like
trying to do it. He sounds like the Hulk.
yeah, maybe. My next one, I'm dead with Ronnie Radke. Just the one we're all picking. It's just a bad one. It just has that weird rap section, and it's just very generic. It didn't do anything for me. Yeah, I agree. With song 3 with Baby Metal, I just think that didn't work at all. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of that whole like kawaii metal style in general. I know a lot of people like those bands, those like Japanese bands, but I could never really get into them. So I think this one just didn't work. So I'm not really a big fan of like either of these genres. That's why I didn't like it. I pick one more, Lift That Shit. Just cheesy lyrics, just like a gym bro anthem. It's just bad with the pig squeals and all that. So that's it. Those are my 4. Yeah.
Nice. So that leave my 4. So I also picked Lift That Shit because I don't know, when I was listening to song, do you imagine being in the gym and the trader come on, lift that shit, pussy! Come on, motherfucker! I'm like, what
Oh
the
my God.
Yeah.
pussy? And I have a friend of mine saying, like, hey, I want to do reps to this song. I'm like, no, it's terrible and it's cringy as fuck. So Robert, you took that Nightmare on Elm Street,
Nightmare Before Christmas.
from the Metal Meltdown because I saw his review and he even did a rap on his review. Shame on you. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
No!
So because Robert, that was so funny shit. But you know what? That song with Ronnie Radke didn't piss me off as much as some other songs. I think there's worse songs on these records than that one. I think that song with Ronnie Radke, it's okay until Ronnie Radke does that like rap thing stuff, but it's not the worst song of the year.
Anytime he opens his mouth, it's ruined.
You need to listen to some Nathan James.
I listened to that album. It was horrible. I'm not listening to that garbage again. I also did my own review on it. It was negative.
Yeah, you need to, because there's so very bad things out there. So I also pick Banditos because it's the first track, and when I thought it ended, then I hear these Mexican mariachis, and I'm like, what the fuck? And this is a lost opportunity. You are from Russia. Why didn't you do the song called Comrades? like really? You're not Mexican. Like they could have done like Comrades, yeah, or something like that. But that I don't know, when they did that Banditos part in Spanish, the only thing I heard in my head was Te quiero puta by Rammstein,
Oh yeah.
which is
Oh, really?
Rammstein's worst songs ever, and I love Rammstein, but that song is atrociously bad. But you know what? Rammstein's were doing that song tongue in cheek. But I think Slaughter to Prevail is being serious. And you know what? That's worse when you are trying to be serious and you're doing shit. Because we all know that Te Quiero Puta song by Rammstein, they were taking a piss with that song. Like it was just a song to take a piss. But yeah, that Banditos one is bad. And also these album song titles, Russian Grizzly in America, like really, like it's such a lame album song.
Yeah.
The one that no one has mentioned that I think is pretentious as fuck as well is Vikings. Dude, you're not among a Marv. Like
Really?
they're taking from Mexican cultures now the Vikings. I think Vikings is just like there is so over the top that it's bad. Uh, but uh, but did I mention the obviously that's bad, but to me the one of the worst song on the record is Song Free with Baby Metal.
Oh, really? I didn't pick that one. I left that one out of my selections
That's
on
worth
purpose.
one because it's the Bulls versus the other thing, and also like say, they're counting, and there's a part on the song is that it feels like it says "Slaughter to Prevail" and "Baby Metal." I'm like, is this we sing in Yandel? I'm like, for context, Lorenzo, since Lorenzo and me are both Puerto Rican, tell us what do rappers in Puerto Rico here do?
They scream their names.
Yeah. Like we sing Yandel, and then they say how many copies they're going to sell, and then the outro of the song is just the beginning of the song is saying that we sing in Yandel, how many copies they're selling. Then the chorus and and I don't know when they did that Slaughter to Prepare Baby Metal. I'm like, oh my god, and the counting, and it's just two polar opposites, and both annoyed the fuck out of me. Both the Slaughter to Prevail harshness, the do you even leave bro shit, and then the super anime in your face. I know a lot of people say Baby Metal is good and give it a chance, but I can't fucking stand Baby Metal. Like I've tried, but they're just so gimmicky to me. So this is like two shits combining to create a total shit, and that's why I picked it. So everyone has picked some songs similar, songs in different. But JC, I think Russian Grizzly in America is terrible as well. So I'm with you with that one. So let's go to round three, where we give our last impressions. Maybe talk about the never-ending story. I don't know, and give it a thumbs up, sideways or down. So Robert, tell us your final thoughts.
Well, yeah. This was Latin to listen to this again today was an absolute chore to get through. The snare absolutely grating. That banging snare sounds like a trash can. Alex's vocals are atrocious. Where he's doing the cleans, he's off key on those cleans, and the pig squeal he does on two songs with the is absolutely atrocious. At least it's better than not as bad as Chris Barnes though. And then the track with Ronnie Radke is easily the worst thing I've heard this year. And seeing that title, Russian Grizzly in America, I was like, oh, this sounds like the theme song for that goalie for the Florida Panthers, Sergei Bobrovsky, because he's from Russia. And then I heard 1984, The Closer, which opposes the war in Ukraine, which I agree on some of that sentiment because Putin absolutely ruining everything with the Ukraine. And then that track with Baby Metal, absolutely atrocious as well. And they have a new album coming out in a couple weeks called Metal Fourth that was pushed back twice from June. And That album, that new Baby Metal already has a couple other guests on there. You have Electric Callboy, who are a German metalcore band. That band's fun. And Bloody Woods on another track. Then that group's from India. They put out a new album early this year, by the way. And yeah, as for my rating, yeah. It is a big, giant, big old fat thumbs down.
Thank you. You know, Robert, you were mentioning so many like different countries that I almost was going to start singing "It's a Small World" after all, because I went. It's a small world. I went to Disney recently, so we have the first thumbs down. So Lorenzo, your final thoughts and rating.
Okay, so I have to say I like some of the subharmonic growls here. I think I think they sound cool when you're doing this kind of album. So I was into that. I think there was, I don't know if it's on the recording or the mixing or what, but it was the drums sounded weird. I In that first song I didn't mention it, but I wrote here the drums sound like fart noises. It's it was something weird. You couldn't hear the singing or the growling or whatever. Well, it's even in song 3 when you have Baby Metal as vocalists, which are, they sing cleanly, so you want to hear them well, and even they sounded terrible in here, and they're not bad singers. So I'm thinking it's a problem with the mixing. So um there's some stuff here that I didn't hate. There's some stuff that I actually liked. For example, I like a song like Rodina because it felt a little folky, like folk metal, and the same with Viking, which Hector didn't like, but I like the subharmonics in there, and but it's too long. It's it doesn't feel like it goes anywhere. I think if they would have done a shorter album with some of them, like the some of the extra stuff left out, this could have been a punchy, aggressive record. But it's so long that it's just, it doesn't hit as hard. And then at the end, you're just like, oh, these songs are just, they sound the same as the other ones. And I don't know if hardcore or deathcore in this case loves to do this. The featurings, it sounded like a rap record. I don't understand the featurings in general unless you're doing like a rap album. But I mean, if you're gonna do a featuring, what's the point? Do you want it? Is it to add? Is it to add something, or what is it? They must have to add something that's not there. But here, it's the featurings are just not good. I think there's another one. There's 3 featurings here.
No, there's only 2.
I think there's one that a third one, I think, but I don't remember who it was.
No,
But
the only other one is Ronnie Radke, and that's about it.
Ronnie Radke. Well, I don't get them. I don't understand them in this context. So I was trying to give this album the benefit of the doubt, but it's
You
just
can't.
yeah, I reached the same conclusion, and I didn't hate this as much as like Puddle of Mud or something like that. But it's not my style of music. So that coupled with some songs that I just absolutely hated, like song 3, I have to give this a thumbs down.
Thumbs down. And if you're gonna have a featuring, let it be Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah.
That's something I gotta praise the Steven Seagal record. Oh no, it had featurings too.
Oh, that the
Or
Steven
whatever
Seagal
that one was from last year.
had a featuring.
They
Yes.
he had a featuring. So yeah, 2 thumbs down. JC, your final thoughts and rating?
Okay. So in general, the album, it's all over the place. They're throwing so many ideas into the mix. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't work. But I have some mixed feelings because there were a few songs I kind of liked, and I want to talk about those. It was track number 9, Behilit, and it sounds like Rammstein. So I kind of thought it was like a Russian Rammstein, but with some deathcore sounds, and I thought it was okay. Like I think like that style they kind of do okay. The one right after that, Rodina, it also sounds like Rammstein, but this one very similar to that Rammstein song called Mutter, um, from the album of the same name. So that reminded me a lot of that. But I actually like that song. So I thought they were songs that were good. I can listen to them again. And I think if this band ever like wanted to go in a different direction, maybe they can do more of a symphonic, industrial like type of album instead of just a straightforward new metal like Slipknot deathcore style. I thought that might be cool, but I don't know. It's like 2 tracks. I don't know if that's enough to save the album, so I'm kind of torn. But I'm still gonna go a thumbs down just because the rest of it I don't think I'll like ever listen to again. I think there were just 2 tracks which I kind of liked. So that's it. That's my thumbs down. Yeah.
Yeah. So I agree with those 2 tracks, but I'd rather listen to Rammstein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a better band.
And they're more fun.
Yeah.
And and Rammstein, even their songs tongue in cheek, they're poking fun. They're not being serious. So because of Te Quiero Puta, which is it's
Plus,
not.
Lost in the Mind Tile, that's their darkest one.
Yes, but that's a great song. But for me, this album, it feels like, first of all, it's too long. Alex Terrible's vocals were giving me a headache. The second time on an Is It That Bad, the vocals give me headache. The first one was 6 Feet Under.
Oh yeah, this is literally how he sings across the album.
Robert, you're giving me a headache now, man, and I gotta interview a band soon.
Sorry.
I'll take an Advil. So to me, yeah, this album is a big old mess, and I'm not going to return to it. It's not the worst album of the year, but it may crack my top 10. Who knows? There's still
It's gonna
some.
go on my worst list.
Yeah, but I still don't know because there's still a few things to come. But yeah, I also give it a thumbs down. Yeah, I have no desire to listen to this album again. So we have 4 thumbs down. So yes, Slaughter to Prevail-Grizzly is that bad. So yeah,
It's
it's
trash.
going down the trash. So I want to thank my panel. So Robert from Trolling in Paradise, what have you going on?
Well, recently I did a contest entry sort of video. It was for Todd Guy the Thrashing Zombie. I did that this past weekend. He reached 525 subs, and his contest actually closed yesterday. And he's going to do the winner announcement on Sunday. As for this weekend, there's an EP I kind of want to review. It's the new Gore EP. The Return of Gorgor. I'm actually going to be seeing those guys this October. And those guys are crazy live. They're a lot of fun live, but they're super crazy. They're that band that destroys effigies on stage and sprays the crowd with blood.
Nice.
And also, yeah, that's what I got going on. The next review will probably be the Guar EP, most likely.
Cool. So when I see these channels doing these contests and they're giving away something, what the fuck are they? I'm like, why would I don't have enough money to give shit away. What are they giving away?
I used to do a lot of that with the different channels, but I stopped because a lot of times, like sometimes I would win and then I tell people where I live in Mexico, and then it ends up kind of getting awkward because they have to like pay all these like expensive shipping rates just to send me a record, and I kind of stopped doing that after a while. But yeah,
And it's also random who they select really now too. Huh?
yeah. Like I used to do, I had a few contests when I was, I had like 200 subs or 300 subs, but I kind of moved away from doing those like vinyl community videos and stuff. I just do reviews. Yeah.
I've never done a contest. I did do some merch, and 4 people bought it.
Aw, man.
That's why I have a day job, man. Because if it was for this, that's why I can't do contests. I don't have money to give away. so thank you, Robert, and obviously Lorenzo. Thank you, for taking time. There's a few videos that you'll probably be in the future. So yeah. So
I'm cooking something. Maybe something coming soon.
are you
I'll
going
let
to
you guys know.
the Professor channel? Well, if you have a channel, then yeah, we'll promote that channel out. I'm sure I'll be on that channel. Maybe we can do an Is It That Bad on your channel for movies.
I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking.
So yeah, so Lorenzo, he doesn't have a channel for now, but you can catch him here. Obviously, JC Rock and Metal Reviews. He's going to, so after this episode is episode number 100.
Oh man, milestone.
Yes.
Yeah.
JC will be on that because JC was on episode number 1, and apparently you're being on 76 episodes.
Yeah. I counted because you have the playlist on your channel of all the episodes, and I ended up counting the ones that I was on, and it was up to 75, and this is 76. So yeah, I was on most of them. Yeah.
And you're going to be on episode 100. That we have a good one for you. It's going to be Creed Weathered, because Creed, they're popular again. Kids like them. So what do you do when kids like something? You shit on it. Like, let me tell you something, kids. We were there.
That record is awesome. It's got a couple good songs, like One Last Breath and My Sacrifice. Those are good tunes.
I respectfully disagree. Listen to this record years later. I've seen Creed live, and there's some good songs, but this album got a lot of mixed reviews from them. But it's not their worst is Full Circle, but that wouldn't be an episode because there's
Full Circle. That was a great comeback. Overcome was really good, and Rain. That's a good one too.
Sucks, man. Like, okay. Well, at least Robert likes Full Circle. So Creed's gonna be the next episode. So we want to know from you, cultures. Comment down below. What do you think of Slaughter to Prevail, Grizzly? And tell us how much do you even lift, bros? Tell us how much you lift, so we can rate you on your lifting abilities. I wish I had like a dumbbell here so I would lift something, but I don't have anything anymore. So couchers, again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on another episode of Is It That Bad? So until next time, couchers, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on the couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.